Hello, everyone, and welcome to Our Lady of Sorrow, a found-footage horror game available on itch.io that apparently combines found footage with religious horror, which is definitely a unique combination that I don't think I've seen before. According to the download page, the footage itself takes place in an old abbey in Ireland, but the framing device and the reason this is found footage is apparently the tape itself has been discovered fairly recently in the archives of an abandoned church, having been deemed extremely dangerous by the Catholic Church. And so I'm really interested knowing that to see where this will go, and in that way, it kind of justifies itself as found footage from the beginning. Because I feel like so often in these indie games, it's just kind of an excuse to have these effects on the screen. But by framing it within that context, I feel like it gives us a sense of trepidation about how we get there. The context of the film's discovery is something that we keep in the back of our mind as we go, and so already it's kind of justified. This tape and its contents are the property of the Diocese of... Redacted. Any attempt to copy, redistribute, or publicly display this tape should be considered dangerous. Not a legal warning, a safety warning. This tape must only be played under the strict supervision of members of the church. Ireland, 1998. This is very pixelated. It seems like we're doing the thing that I am not necessarily a fan of, where we combine faux VHS with faux PS1. I don't know, I feel like, timeline-wise, they exist in the same period, but I don't know if there's really a reason to put them together like this. Although this game certainly has atmosphere, and before I forget, I want to point out, during the static of those titles, I feel like I could hear a little bit of like a high-pitched... It almost sounded like humming or singing, but even with headphones it was very, very faint. Well, let's move on. A foggy, windy afternoon. Kilkerry Abbey. Built in 1458 as a monastery, the abbey has seen many things. Viking raids, fires, rituals, and black masses. The abbey is best known as the burial site of many famous priests and renowned nuns and people of the Catholic faith. The Great Tower was once used as a lookout. There's the tower. We're not going to be able to open this gate, are we? Huh. That might be a gaming first. The Abbey is home to many tales and myths from across the centuries. Stories of ancient monks stowed away beneath the mossy stone, buried in prayer. Stories of sieges and bloodshed of the Irish at the hands of English nobles. The most famous story of all is the story of Unsealing, known to locals as the Lady of Sorrow. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly because it's the way I'll be pronouncing it for the rest of the video. Choices, left or right. Or forward if this gate will open. No, locked. I guess we have to find a key. And we can't sprint either. Let's just explore the graveyard, I guess. Now, this place is more or less reduced to ruins, but surely not entirely abandoned if all these plaques and informational posters are up. We can enter the dark, but with all this distortion, even if my character could see, the tape certainly can't. The tale of the Lady of Sorrow has been passed down through many years, and the true story is heavily debated amongst local historians. What is common throughout these different tellings is the tale of a young witch who long ago set a curse upon the local priest. The priest roused the locals, who burned her alive in the very church that stands upon these grounds. It was said by the locals who watched her burn that the weeping image of the Virgin Mary appeared upon her face, and then she cackled as the flames engulfed her. We're playing old-timey mortuary assistant, are we? The priest commanded her remains to be thrown in the well, and the entrance sealed. The well remains sealed to this day. We can't go this way. There's nothing here but more information, valuable though it may be. So, that begs the question, is a witch ever truly dead? No matter what you do with her. Any more information here? Looks like it needs a key to fit. Okay, so the other gate is probably locked for good if it's giving me this message. Oh, I have a flashlight if I right-click. Alright, maybe we can use that on the other area where that space was open. Hello, statue. Almost didn't notice you there. Even with the flashlight, it's pretty difficult to see. Locked up tight. Yeah, we're not getting in there. Seems there's another statue inside with some kind of altar or shrine in front of it. You know, stories like this would probably land so much better with me if I had paid even the slightest bit of attention during my Catholic upbringing. Hi. You appear to be weeping blood and, have a bit of a stigmata as well. With one gaping wound in your side, are these supposed to be the wounds of Christ? Why am I here? And what even is this structure now that I think about it? Why would you be placed just at the end of a long, winding, dark tunnel? I'm starting to wonder if perhaps the antagonist of the story I previously read is maybe affecting the geometry of the world somewhat. When I get outside, is it going to be nighttime? No, but it might just be me, but I feel like we're getting closer to it. Well, I have a key now. I don't think it's going to work on this gate to the right. I think it's going to be the one all the way down. Oh, how I wish I could sprint. On top of the distortion of the VHS and the distortion of the PS1 quality graphics, I feel like it's also leaning my vision somewhat. Everything's all twisty and wriggly depending on my orientation relative to it. Hello? These are statues. Something tells me this is not a Catholic setup, but these candles are lit. By who? Here is where the image of the Virgin Mary appeared during the burning of the witch. The church long ago placed a statue here. Oh, I guess it actually is. The locals used to hold communion here in hopes she would appear again. Do you really want that to occur again? Maybe you should try burning more witches. She seems to get a kick out of that. Some say that on cold autumn nights, you can faintly smell burning flesh and wood, and sometimes even the cackling of the witch. Huh. What does the cackling of the witch smell like? Looks like something fits here. But what? What else could I have picked up? Will that middle gate perhaps be open now, or is there something to be gained back here? See, something about these, I don't think this is some kind of historical setup or religious significance. They all just look too even, too rounded to be statues. Like ghostly parishioners have been frozen in place. If I look through the locked gate, if I shine the flashlight, I can just barely see. I mean, it's so pixelated, but it looks like a bunch of those statues are standing in a circle. Wait. Ah, you're holding something now. A chalice. I don't think you were holding that before, were you? Hello. You look like the one we saw as we were exiting the tunnel. It's hard to tell, but it looks like, in addition to all the blood, you've got spikes protruding from you. Something about demonic possessions, witchcraft, all that stuff. It tries to make a mockery of religious imagery. I think that might be what we're seeing here. As it begins to rain, with the parishioners having left behind me, and the chalice fills with blood. What is happening between these segments of tape? Another key. This must be the key to that front gate, and yeah, as the weather continues to get worse, the sun is definitely setting. Pretty soon it's going to be completely dark. What is my character doing here that's so important? Surely they should be skeeved out. Wait. They're all looking down the well. The well that the priest had sealed up after the witch was thrown down it. I think these are followers, all right, but not followers of the Christian God. I didn't even pay attention to what gate key that was. I could have sworn there was like a high-pitched whine emanating from this statue for a second. The only other gate I can think of is the one that was back through here. I really don't like being here. Yes, this is it. But what am I retrieving? I'm not retrieving anything. All I can do is turn on this music box. I can barely hear the music itself over the sound of the rain, which I swear I can now hear like whispers within. But What was that for? What did that do for me? Give your... I can't read that. Give your something for us. Don't let her out. Give your life. Don't let her out. Pray for us. First of all, no thanks. And second, since I apparently have to, how do I do that? That almost makes it sound like I myself have to jump down the well. Yes, you've backed off and lit candles. And is it just me? Was it just the way the static moved, or did I just see you guys lower your arms a little bit? The music sounds louder here than it did back there. Enter the well. Is that all? A prayer of protection. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. The tape itself seems to react to that name. Amen. Well, in the shadow of thy wings will I take refuge. Oh, there's more. Now, I swear, I saw shapes moving in the static just there. We've entered the well, but... it's a long way back up. That's interesting. It's almost like the church... In editing this tape, it's like they felt that those prayers needed to be placed sporadically. Not just a general protection that they can put anywhere within the tape, but it's like exposure itself is draining or potentially allows something through. And I guess in this context they were right, because something is clearly affecting, making a mockery of their attempts to put this to rest. I don't like this. Can't even hear the sounds of the rain above. It's only in... There's something echoing down the chamber. It's only in moments like this that you realize you had gotten used to the white noise of the wind or the rain. And now that it's left you, you're hyper-aware, listening for the sounds of another set of footsteps in the water. Hi! You're gonna make me pass you, aren't you? The fact that I couldn't make out the details of that face makes it all the worse. But I could definitely make out a pair of glowing eyes. Which way? Which way, Mary? Mary, I really need you to come through for me right now. I know I've strayed pretty far and never really took you all that seriously to begin with, but I really could use your help right about now. Unless that is you helping me by blocking off that other path. Or maybe you're trying to lead me to my death. I can't tell which. I can't move. I can't move. Why can't I move? Oh, wait, no, now I just did a little bit? Is the game glitching? Oh, there we go. I think I was caught up on something. Could have sworn I just heard a step that wasn't attributed to me. What happens if I turn my light off? Not much better. I swear I'm hearing stuff back there. I'm not paying enough attention to them individually to know if they're changing on me or not. What is this? What? No, 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 no! I think I was supposed to be looking forward, but honestly, the fact that I wasn't kind of made that scare land all the better. That thing, in what little I saw of it, it looked like it had the same texture as the figure that poked its head out of the water before. Okay, now you're literally gatekeeping my survival. But there are two ways I can go. I can go in the direction that guy went, or I can go the other way, and right now, I'm going to choose the other way. No! There's guys either way. I really applaud this game for its silent jump scares, not really giving any exposition or context beyond the framing of the discovery of the tape itself and the plaques describing what this place is. This place is absurdly spacious for an old well. And remember, this is the final resting place of an accused witch. An accusation which is getting more and more confirmed the farther we go. Now I really wonder what would have happened if I had gone down the other path, but let's not break momentum. Also, guys, I can definitely take legal action for this little setup you have here. This is a copyrighted image. I'm just going to take this with me, alright? As is my legal right. I guess now it's going to make me go the other way. Mary, you're just blocking off every path that would enable me to survive, only sending me down the path further to an eternity of demonic torment. Is this because of those thoughts I had about Connor? Because, in my defense, if you didn't want me to do that, you shouldn't have made him so cute. Now, it could just be me being paranoid, but it feels like the path back is longer than it was before. I can see we're getting closer to the lair of the beast. What would have happened if I had come down this way to begin with? I still have my flashlight, so the candle isn't for light. Come on. Again, this might just be me. But I could swear this tunnel is getting narrower, although I suppose at this point it's a bit of a moot point since we're going into this chamber. No, I'm collecting a second candle. When I take this, does that mean... Oh, I bet I'm meant to place these in the hands of each of the Mary statues. Maybe she's not mad at me after all. Maybe she just needs a little bit of help. She knows I have a flashlight. I don't need the light, but her... She's just been sitting down here in the dark for however many centuries. You guys weren't here when I came here. Alright, let me through. You wouldn't push a guy that's got his hands full, would you? All three of them. Seriously, though, where am I balancing this flashlight? Alright, that's going to be one for you, and one for you, and we're good now, right? We're good for everything? I basically willingly gave my life because you told me to by jumping down this well, so I feel like between that and the candles, you might even actually owe me a little bit. These statues are facing the walls. Almost like they're being punished. This tunnel is definitely getting narrower. But maybe taller in the process. Yeah, but I can tell it's getting narrower because I'm having less and less room to scooch past these guys. The question is, were they placed here? Or were they created after the fact by some kind of magic? Are these followers or slaves? I'm not controlling this. It's the sound of the music box again. In the shadow of thy wings will I take refuge. I am a vessel. What, you're making me seem like I shouldn't have read that part out loud? If God is our father, then Satan must be our cousin. Or like second cousin, I'm not really sure how it works out. Pray for us. What are you? Oh, wait, that's me. For a second I forgot I was a camera. I guess I made it out. Wait. Night has fallen, but there's a glow from these lights in the trees. It sounds like people singing at church. And I have a feeling some kind of mass is taking place, but maybe not the one I'm used to. This trail, I think, is leading us back to the altar. Now there are bony wings protruding from her. You have reached the end of this tape. Please seek the help of a member of the Catholic Church immediately. Well, that's ominously succinct. We believe this tape to be a vessel, a conduit for the evil spirits to spread their plague. This game is a vessel. Now is not a good time to hear something behind me. Please dispose of this tape as soon as possible. She has escaped. Will deleting a digital file help? Please pray with us. Thank you for playing. So that was Our Lady of Sorrow, and that was absolutely incredible. I loved that so much. That game had such a unique atmosphere of just constantly growing dread, and it integrated that so perfectly with the religious horror by juxtaposing it with all of this Catholic imagery, playing this sort of creepy but mostly pleasant music, all culminating in a mockery of a mass, which leads into the most overt jump scare of the game, but even that is fairly downplayed. What I think this is really about is that slow descent into hopelessness. And it creates that with its exposition, both on the store page and with the framing itself. We start off knowing that this is something that was hidden away for a long time, and so we connect it as something that happened in the past, which kind of creates an inherent creepiness on its own. But then we learn that the church considers the tape itself to be dangerous, and so we go in knowing that the fate of the person holding the camera is pretty much sealed, and through it all, it draws us in. Not just through the ambiance and by progressing through, but by kind of placing us in the role of ourselves, watching this character get dragged deeper and deeper, eventually having no way to turn back, and kind of feeling like we ourselves have progressed too far to turn back. And I think that's the brilliance of having that first prayer appear in the middle and not at the end. It does something that so little found footage media does these days, and has that very necessary for the genre fourth wall break. I feel like that fourth wall breakage worked even better as a Let's Play, because I was reciting these prayers out loud, and then in the end, as these tapes were getting hijacked, it kind of made it seem like I cursed myself in reading too quickly. Like, I didn't pay attention to the words, and in the end, it feels like I almost said an incantation needed to bring this spirit out into the real world. It just captured such a dread that I think only religious horror can really tap into. I mean, the whole time, you know you're watching someone who is doomed, and it kind of slowly dawns on you as you go through that what you're watching is the path to your own doom as well. But if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.